All rise. Judge Butterby Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1009, Moore versus Davis.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. Moore,
Yes, ma'am.
you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, my husband, or I'm sorry, ex-husband, we have a mutually beneficial agreement with our children where he keeps them at night and I keep them during the day.
Okay.
But my job no longer allows me to stay home with them during the day, and I would like for them to go to daycare now during the day, and he doesn't.
This custody battle is heating up as a mother pushes for daycare while the father strongly objects. She argues that her job no longer allows her to stay home, making daycare a necessity for their children's stability. The father, however, insists that daycare is a bad idea, calling it a germ-infested environment and claiming family care is the better option, despite never actually visiting the daycare to see if his concerns hold weight. Judge Bundy wastes no time getting to the heart of the issue. While the father believes he's protecting his kids, the judge challenges him on whether his refusal is based on facts or just personal bias. Meanwhile, the mother makes it clear she's not trying to exclude him. She just needs a solution that works for their shared custody arrangement. With emotions running high, this case is shaping up to be a battle of logic versus control. Will the judge side with the mother's need for stability, or will the father's concerns hold weight? One thing's for sure, Judge Bundy is about to lay down the law, and neither parent is walking away without a reality check. Let's see how this plays out.
How old are the children?
2 years and 18 months.
Okay. And you already picked out the daycare you want them to go to and everything like that?
Yes.
How much is it?
It is $500 a month
$500 for both children?
for one child, so it's $1,000 a month for both children.
Oh, okay.
It's a nationally accredited daycare.
Okay. That's not bad for 2 kids. What's your opposition to that?
Well, I don't think they should be in daycare. I think she should stay with them like we originally planned. I didn't get a chance to check out the daycare. I just would rather them stay with her mom or one of our family members.
Okay. Did you let him know which daycare?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
He was invited to go meet the teachers and do the tour, but he opted not to go.
So you did have an opportunity to go?
I was invited, but I don't really want my kids in that daycare. I don't want to be in that
What's
daycare.
wrong with the daycare?
They're full of germs. For starters,
this courtroom is full of germs.
Okay, but children germs, they're next level.
Okay, do they disinfect the daycare?
I don't know that.
They do.
Right, you don't know. So you haven't even had the opportunity, you haven't taken the opportunity to try to do any kind of research.
Okay.
But the fact that there are germs at the daycare, I mean, that's not.
Judge Bundy listens carefully as the mother lays out her case. She and her ex had a system that worked. She took care of the kids during the day, and he handled them at night. But with a full-time job, she can't stay home anymore, and daycare is the logical next step. Not just any daycare either. It's nationally accredited, ensuring a safe and educational environment. But the father refuses to approve it, and his reasoning? Germs. That's his entire argument. He hasn't visited the facility, hasn't looked into its quality, and hasn't considered any alternative solutions. His opposition, the mother argues, isn't really about daycare. It's about control. She reveals that his germophobia was a major issue in their marriage, and now it's affecting their ability to co-parent. The judge is already picking up on the deeper problem here. This isn't about what's best for the kids. It's about the father letting his personal fears override a practical, necessary solution. And if he's not willing to be reasonable, Judge Bundy might just make the decision for him. Let's see how this plays out.
A good enough reason
Okay.
why you don't want them in there.
I would rather them be with family, people we know.
Okay, I mean, that's a valid point.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes.
I'm a doctor. I'm around germs all day. This
Okay.
is one reason that we did not work out.
It's a big problem.
My ex-husband is a germaphobe, and he feels like if the children aren't kept in a bubble basically all day, that something terrible is going to happen to them. But that's no reason, that's no way for these kids to live. And I have to go save lives every day while he just sits in his living room, hermetically sealed off living room.
That's dramatic.
Well, it's not that dramatic. What's dramatic is he wouldn't even show up for this tour at the daycare so he could see that it is a clean daycare. It's nationally accredited. Also, our children would have loved to have seen you.
Okay, look, with all due respect, I don't even want to be in this courtroom, Your Honor.
I can understand that. Sometimes I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here.
So, I mean,
but I'm here. I'm here for the kids, and I would prefer if they weren't in a daycare, if they were at one of our family members, where we can give them special instructions on cleaning and what the children need to stay healthy.
well, I definitely understand, and I agree. In a lot of cases, it is good for the children to be around a family member and everything like that. However, age 2 years old, and what was the other age?
18 months.
18 months. I mean, it's nothing wrong with them going to school already. You do want them to start learning a lot of things. You just do. There are some things that you guys are not going to be able to teach them at home. Not that you can't, it's just you may not have the time to do it. So I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea, but I do think it's a good idea for you to go and speak to the teachers, look around the daycare, see about the cleanliness of it and everything like that. And you guys should just work together and co-parent. So
Now the father takes the floor and his stance is unwavering. He doesn't trust daycare. He argues that family care is the better option because it allows him to control cleanliness and avoid unnecessary exposure to germs. But there's a glaring problem. He's never actually visited the daycare he's so adamantly against. How can he reject something he hasn't even seen? Then comes the real turning point. The mother exposes his deep-seated germ paranoia. She claims this obsession with cleanliness was a major factor in their failed marriage, and from the way he's acting, it's clear she has a point. He wants to shield the kids from every possible risk. But as the judge is quick to point out, that's simply not realistic. Judge Bundy doesn't hold back. Germs exist everywhere, even in the courtroom. Dismissing a structured, accredited daycare based purely on fear isn't a valid argument. And as the conversation unfolds, the father's confidence starts to waver. He may have walked in believing he had a strong case, but now he's realizing he might just lose this battle. Let's see how he handles the pressure.
the agreement is just going to stand what it is. You guys keep doing your agreement where you have your time with the children, and you keep rotating like that. Nobody should pay child support in this type of situation. But what I will do to make sure that daycare does get paid is that you guys split it. So $1,000, you pay $500, you pay $500, and it's going to go through the Attorney General of Texas. And that's just the best way to do it, because that at least ensures that the children's daycare is paid for month to month.
Okay, but now I'm paying for the daycare that I don't want them to go to, and I have them at night. She's supposed to be responsible for the day. If they were in night care, I would pay for it, and I just don't see how this is fair. She makes 3 times as much money as I do.
Right, but you guys have been splitting the children, right? You've been splitting the children, and it's not a bad idea. And honestly, that's a very reasonable cost for 2 children at a daycare, because a lot of times, especially the younger a child is, the 18-month-old, it could be more expensive than that. And I think that's fair. Or, you know, I could base, let me see, how much money you make a year? Let's see. Your document says $62,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like for me to base child support that you pay her off of $62,000 a year? Because I can assure you it will be more than $500.
Then no.
Okay, well, you know, in that case, is there anything further between either
No,
of you?
Your Honor, thank you.
That'll be all? That'll be all from you? Okay,
Yes.
where you all are dismissed.
Now the law takes over and Judge Bundy doesn't waste a second. Daycare is happening. It provides structure, education, and socialization. All things the children need. The father's germ concerns, not backed by facts. Case closed. But then comes the real fight. Who's paying for it? The judge lays it out clearly. Both parents split the cost, $500 each. Seems reasonable. The father pushes back. His argument: since daycare happens during the mother's time, she should pay for it alone. The judge isn't having it. She lays out the cold, hard truth. If he refuses, child support calculations will come into play. And when that happens, he'll likely owe way more than $500 a month. That reality check is all it takes. He backs down fast, and the decision stands. Case closed. Next issue. And there it is, the legal system at work. The father opposed daycare, but personal fears don't outweigh what's best for the children. The judge ruled based on logic, not emotion, and daycare was the clear choice for their growth and stability. When it came to finances, the fair split was non-negotiable.